This is Holywiremod. I'm going to be going over DJ Stand 2, which is long anticipated update from 1. So before getting started, I want to take note that this has a tick quota exceeded error, which you can fix by going to Wire, Expression 2, right-clicking the chip and going to Upload and Exit. You also have to unfreeze these thrusters around, as you need this wheel to move, and it comes by default frozen. So you need to unfreeze the wheel itself, unfreeze the emitter and the holo, and if you can move it, you win. If not, you lose. Try again. So right here we have touchscreen, which is activated by looking at any given point, preferably a button, and pressing the E button, or the use key, whatever you have assigned. So you have a song menu, a holo menu, effects menu, light menu, and help menu. So really quickly, let's go over the song menu. You have 5 different banks to choose from. Clicking E on any of the songs will activate a song. If you do not have one of these games installed, you'll receive an error, cannot play, download file. And I want you to notice when I'm picking a song that the time changes. Now this is not a countdown timer, this is just to indicate how long the song is, so you have a general idea of when you have to change to the next song. And getting into this side menu, actually, let's go to the help menu real quick. You'll notice that there's a help menu for buttons, and it tells you what all these side menu buttons do. For an example, if you want a more general idea, anything which is this color is going to be considered a button, as long as it has that darker gray text inside and lighter gray background color. It's considered a button on this thing. So there are exceptions to that, where you have red and green buttons, which are 1 and 0s, and these are just on-off switches, which you can find in the effects menu primarily. So I'm able to stop a sound by pressing the stop button, or play a sound. It's going to play whatever it is in this bottom left-hand corner. I can modify the pitch, or if I'm being too loud, I can modify the volume, or if you want to say screw you server, I'm going to be as loud as I want, you can go all the way. Yes, that was dirty. So, let's choose your favorite dust song from Italy. Now, I want you to notice when you press this reset button, what it's going to do on specifically the song menu, wherever you may be on it, is reset the pitch and volume. That's primarily so you can easily edit a song in the middle of a song, and it's not going to immediately change the pitch and volume, to its original values immediately. It's not going to register a change. So, for example, it's down here, but now I'm resetting it. You'll notice, even though the pitch is 100, it's not sounding like the pitch is 100. So that's a good way to kind of make it easier to control. So here we have the holo menu. The holo menu has circling holograms, center hologram, and holo emitter. The circling holograms can be activated by increasing the scale of the hologram, because if you have 0, 0, 0, there's nothing technically there. And let's raise the height so you can actually see the holograms right there. And we can spread the distance, and as you can see, there's 4 holograms in total. So let's change the model to a sphere, and we'll make it a little bit bigger. And you can change the pitch on roll by editing the angle right here. And I want you to notice that here I'm pressing the E button to get back to 0. And here on these two, I'm holding E and moving my mouse. And what that does is, since this is a touch screen, is it actually makes the use key register faster, so it makes scrolling through numbers a lot faster, a lot easier than using buttons. So we have certain functions here. We have spin, rotate, random, and wave. So let's start with the rotate, and as you can see, it's now rotating around the chip. If I want these things to move faster or slower, what you do is you go to the light menu, and you'll notice that global frequency is at the bottom. Now, global frequency is just as it sounds. It affects every single thing in this, the lights, it affects the holos, the holo emitter, everything. So let's set this to a lower number. As you can see, it's moving faster. When I set to a higher number, it's now going to move slower. So let's keep it to 1, and I'll be getting into this menu a little bit later. So you have a rotate option. You can also make a spin happen. And what this does is just makes them go back and forth, if that's your desired motion. You also have a wave, which makes them go in the same motion, but now they're going in a circular sine wave instead. Or you can choose random, and that'll just make them go crazy. So, you can have fun with these and choose 2, 3 of them, or all of them. For now, just keep it on these two. And let's get to the center hologram, in which you must edit your scale to turn on and make this a little bit taller. And let's change that annoying opera music to something more fun. Like Suit Song 3, that's a good one. So, you can edit just as the other holograms, the model, the height, and the pitch and the scale. You can't edit anything else because you really don't want this thing flying around, or maybe you do, but I don't want it, so I didn't do it. I'm going to raise the height so you can hide the E2 chip and the center thing, make it more presentable. And remember, you can edit the pitch on roll by editing these values. And let's quickly bring these to 0. And let's get into the Holo Emitter. Now, to activate the Holo Emitter, first you have to either activate the L beam or the G beam, and then you activate the size, bring up the size, and as you can notice now there's a beam right here of pretty big thickness. You can modify the location or position of the beam by editing these values. You can set it to represent sine and cosine values to each respective value. So to make a circle, you'd put cosine x, sine and y, and z just normal. And let's say I want to automatically make this thing rotate. So what this does is it increases the position automatically plus whatever position you have here. So even though this position box is grayed out and it looks like it's not active, it still does have an impact on your hologram. As you can see now, it's raising higher than it was before. I can eliminate those lines in between by getting rid of either the L beam or the G beam, and also notice the X and Y go into negative values. But to eliminate the line from the chip to the actual ball of light, you get rid of the G beam. As you can see, there's no more line following it. If you want to get rid of the lines between each ball of light, you get rid of the L beam. So now you see, let's get closer, now you can see there is no line in between. Now we also have a random function, which makes this thing a lot of fun, which will shoot a bunch of random beams everywhere of different colors. It's always going to be a random color. You can't control the colors in this. Might add that later, might not. You can adjust the fade to control how many beams are going to be present at a given time. So the less fade, the less beams, with the exception of 0, which it actually sets it to a value I'm not aware of, something like in 5 or 6 range. So let's say we want to connect the beams too and add some more fun to this. So. And that's that. So let's turn this off with the reset button, resetting everything back to its default values. Let's get into the effects menu. And this is where the wheel comes into effect and why you unfroze that wheel earlier. As you can see when I press the wheel button there, now the wheel is spinning. And it has 9 different effects attached to it. The feather, money, soul, stars, balls, which are hard to see right now. They're kind of like black balls. You can see right here, and regular balls. You have a beam, rings, and bubbles. Alright. Now, you also have smoke in the extra option, but the smoke actually affects the corners of the stage, not the actual wheel itself. And you also have some stage effects, such as fire smoke, which is displayed right here and here. Just to give you a general idea, that's what it looks like. You have rings, which are these big rings. Rings 2, which are smaller rings coming out lamp number 2 and 3. And you have sparks coming out the side of the stage. Now, once again, we reset and we'll set all the values back to default. And for now, I'm just going to use ball 1, ball 2, and throw a beam in there. And now we have the light menu, which from you should remember from global frequency. Here you're able to edit the 3 colors respectively. Color 2 represents this lamp right here, which can be turned on and off by putting color 2, and you'll see it gets grayed out. And you have color 3 to the left, which is this blue lamp right here, which will also get grayed out if you turn it off, and as you notice, no more green or blues getting projected down there. You have random colors, which, just as it sounds, it changes the colors based upon the frequency. So the higher the frequency, the slower the change. Let's bring back. And here you can manually update the colors. This one is strictly color 1. Now the side lamps right there and right here are a combination of all 3 colors. That's why it's white, because there's a 255 in each slot, where there's only 255 in one of the slots right here for the vectors. You can modify these colors simply by changing left and right arrows and changing it to your desired colors. And there you have it. So let's reset this back to original. And let's get some music here. It's kind of getting dull. So here's how the presets work. You have 6 given presets. Preset 0 is just nothing, so you can start from scratch. Like, not even the lights will be on. Now you can quickly put the lights on by pressing the reset button, but for now we're just going to keep it 0. You have preset 1, which is like a rocket ship kind of thing. You'll have the Holo Emitter making a bunch of beams around it indicating liftoff. You have preset number 2, and this one's like an alien invasion. You have a mothership up here from the center hologram, and the circling holograms right here are composing 4 smaller little ships. Preset number 3, and this is more of a crazy party preset, in which it's going to generate random beams everywhere. I actually like to keep the beam count low at the start of this preset and modify it manually as need be. So, fade to 0, have a lot more fun. Preset number 4, and this is your girly pink preset for those who want a girly pink preset. Has your feathers and fun pink everywhere and purple and all that stuff, and for those guys who are like, oh, that's so gay, I have preset number 5 just for you, which looks like Oblivion coming straight out of hell, fun for your eerie songs, which in fact, I believe that's good enough. And that pretty much covers the DJ stand. There's really a lot you can do with this. It's all up to you. It's your own little world. If you have any suggestions, I'm going to be making DJ stand 3 whenever I get the time to do so. Probably going to add the ability for you to add your own songs into your own personal song bank. And I'll get into that later. But until then, I will see you later and hope you enjoy it. Goodbye.